Okay, welcome back. I am glad you are sticking with me as we're going through our tutorials on Microsoft Access 2013. So, where we left off in our last lesson, you were supposed to import the inventory table on your own. And now I want to talk to you a little bit about how to set up relationships in databases. Now, you know that Access, being a modern database, is a relational database management system. And it's not just Access that does that. SQL, DB2, MySQL, pretty much all of the modern databases are relational database systems, which mean that you have common fields that allow you to streamline your database quite a bit. More of the theory stuff than we have time to talk about. But what I want to show you is how you go through and define relationships in Access databases. All right, so here are three tables, 2, 3. And I want you to take a look at the customers table right now without any common fields set via relationships. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into Database Tools. We're going to select Relationships. When you do, you have the ability to pull any of the three tables that you have imported into your database. Now, you don't have to pull all three. For us, with the ERD that you have set up as we did in class, you would do that. But you don't have to. All right. So we've got three tables. Transactions, customers, and inventory. Now, the three types of database relationships you can set up are one-to-many, many-to-many, and one-to-one. Okay, so here's an easy way to look at it. So the account number in the customers table is the same account number that is used in the transactions table, right? So if you or I were to go and rent a movie, they would write down our account number, right, is a transaction. That account number is linked back to my account number in the customers table, which would then show me my first name, last name, and so on. All right. So how would this work? All right. We're going to grab our account number. We're going to drag it over to account number and transactions. We're going to set this up. Now, it automatically defined it as a one-to-many relationship. Now, what does that mean? It's really quite simple. Okay. How many times would my account number show up in the customers table, right? Only once, because account number is the primary key. Primary keys cannot repeat, and multiple customers can't have the same account number. So one time in the customers table. How many movies could I check out? As many as my heart and my wallet desire. So my account number could appear many times in the transactions table. So that is a one-to-many relationship. You could have one-to-one. You can also have many-to-many. Okay, but for now, this is just a one-to-many, which is pretty common. You can also check that out in the appendix of your book. Now, before we're done, a little business practice, and your book talks about it as well. Check these two boxes: enforce referential integrity, cascading updated related fields. What do those two buttons do? Well, enforce referential integrity is going to make sure that the data field types, a la single, double, integer, long integer, things and so forth, match, meaning that those are matching fields, account number and account number between customer and transactions. The data that are in there are the data that should be there, so they're going to match. The second thing is cascading update related fields. All right, so if I go in and I update my account number in the customers table, it's going to cascade through my database, and it's going to update the account number in the transactions field as well. So those two are very good boxes to check. Now, why would you not check the third one? Well, if you go in and delete the account number, do you know what that would also do? That would go in and delete the account number in transactions. All right, that's if I click this third box. And I got to tell you, for accounting purposes, even if we do delete a customer from the database, I bet you we don't want to delete their transactions. So we're going to just leave that as is. We're going to do 1, 2, leave that one blank, click create, and we have a one-to-many relationship. Now we're going to do the same thing with serial number. You have a one-to-many relationship. So at this point, we're good. Now, what happens if you want to edit this? All right, you don't like what you've done. Double click right in the middle, and that box will pop right back up. So right in the middle of the line, and that box pops back up. I missed it. Right there. And the box pops back up. Okay, so we're going to close this. It's going to ask me if I want to save. I do. Now check this out. Here's how you know you did this correctly. I'm going to open the customers table again. Ooh, looks a little different. Well, what do we see? I click the little plus sign next to my first guy, star student John Conselman, 2010. All right. I click the plus sign, and hey, there's the transactions that he has gone through and created. There's the transactions that basketball coach Emerson Campen now has created, and so on and so on. So we have done a very good thing. All right. So at this point, we're going to save what we've done. We're going to close this out. I'll see you again with putting a little bit of window dressing on the tables. We're going to talk about input masks. We're going to talk about validation lists. So I'll see you soon. We'll be back in a little bit.